up guys, SDPeasy here, and today we're going to bring you a video on my Premier League 2019-2020 predictions, where I think everybody's going to finish all the way from 20th all the way up to 1st. I'm going to give you my top goal scorer and my golden glove as well. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. If you do have any opinions on where you think teams are going to finish, or top goal scorer, golden glove, so on, please put them in the comments so I can we can have a little debate about who we think is going to finish where, or just send me a tweet or so on. But I hope you guys enjoy. So let's get into this. Right, in 20th position, I'm going to be going for Sheffield United. I feel they're going to struggle this year. I know they did get a draw yesterday against Bournemouth. Billy Sharp getting a goal, obviously. Nice to see him get a goal, obviously, for his boyhood club. But I feel like that might be, not the highlight of their season, but one of the highlights. I feel like they're really going to struggle. They're just not quite at the standard required in the Premier League for me. They don't quite have what is required to be a Premier League team, in my opinion. So for me, they're going to struggle, and I don't see them getting more than 20 points. In 19th, we're going to be going for Norwich. Once again, just like Sheffield United, I do think they're going to struggle. Obviously, I saw them play against Liverpool, get absolutely smacked about the park. And they looked okay at points, but not, like I say, just like Sheffield United, they just don't look like they have that Premier League team mentality, ethos, physicality. Look, they just don't have something about them that, for me, I just don't see it. I see them going straight back down to the Championship next season. So for me, 19th, they're going back down. I just don't see it. In 18th, another team, Brighton. They flirted with relegation last year, so I'm a bit worried about them. I feel like this year they're just going to really struggle. I haven't seen them make too many top signings for their sort of level, so I'm a bit worried for them. And obviously with flirting with relegation last year, I feel like this year they're going to struggle even more, and they're going to drop into that bracket of the bottom three, which is a shame. But they're just, like I say, I'm not sure if they're a Premier League team. If you're not, I don't know how to explain what I mean by that, but they just don't quite have the qualities required to be in this league. So I feel like this year they're not going to make the cut. Down in 17th, we have Southampton. A bit worried for them this year. Not going to lie, I think they're really going to struggle. Got rid of Charlie Austin out to West Brom, which I think was a poor deal for them. He was a good striker. So I'm a little bit worried about Southampton, about them going nearly down. I feel like they're going to be sort of flirting very much with the border of relegation. They may even drop into the bottom three for a decent period of the season. So yeah, they're going to be on that flirting limit, but I feel like they've just got enough in their team, just enough quality to stay up, because they are good enough to be in this league, but I feel like they're just going to have a struggle season. In 16th, the final newly promoted team, Aston Villa. I feel like they're actually going to be fine this year. Obviously, they've just lost 3-1 to Spurs, but they did actually dominate Spurs for the whole of the first half. Obviously, getting their goal, and they didn't look in trouble or threatened really at any point in the game. So I feel like they're going to be okay. They'll get results against the teams below them, and they'll be the kind of team that pick up results like a 1-0 win against Man United or something like that. You know what I mean? Like they get the odd really random result, which obviously gives them extra points and is going to keep them in this league. I feel they have the qualities required to be in this league. Obviously made some good signings in Trezeguet, looked good yesterday against Spurs, as well as that Wesley they've signed up front. Players that they just look like good players that fit straight into that team and provide good attacking threat going into it. And obviously, being a Chelsea fan, got big love for John Terry over there as the assistant coach. So I hope they do stay up. In 15th, we're going for Newcastle. Actually made some good signings this summer. Obviously, they've got Andy Carroll back. Not sure about that one. But they've got him back on like a one-season thing. Pay as you play, some sort of deal. It's a bit of a weird deal. But they've also signed Alan Maxim from Nice or Lille. No, Nice. Good signing for me. I feel like he's going to be really creative playing in the Premier League, and if he has a good season, they could actually do a bit better than 15th, because they did have a good core of players anyway. Longstaff being a good CDM sort of shores their team up a bit in the middle. So they did have a good core anyway, and I feel like with adding players, they can only improve them. So I feel like they're definitely going to stay up this year, and they'll be okay. 15th should be good for them. 14th, going for Crystal Palace. A team I actually really enjoy watching in the Premier League. They always play good football. They have obviously lost one of their probably their biggest player from last season in Wan-Bissaka to Man United, so that is a big loss for them. Not sure how they're going to deal with that. I imagine they've got replacement right backs just to throw straight in there, obviously. But the big thing is keeping Zaha. He's probably not going to be happy about being kept, because obviously he did want his dream move to Arsenal, and if not Everton, but neither of them went through in the end. He stayed at Palace. But he's probably not very happy about being at Palace, but Palace will be very happy to keep him. Obviously, he's a professional footballer, so I expect him to still deliver the same standards that he has season on season in the Premier League. He's a top quality player. He should be at a better club, but he's at Crystal Palace. I think he's going to do well for them this year and keep them above that relegation area of the table. 13th, going for Burnley. Team I do appreciate a lot. They've got a good manager in Sean Dyche. I like the way they play their football. They've got good players in all sorts of positions. Obviously, they just have a good core. I feel like letting Tom Heaton go was maybe a poor decision to Aston Villa, maybe a poor one, but they've got obviously good goal. They've got other goalkeepers in there that can, come in and replace him. I don't think they're going to struggle. I think so. That's 13th is sort of like nearly a mid-table sort of position now. Nowadays, it's more than it is looking towards relegation. I feel like they're going to be looking more up towards the top of the table than they are looking down to relegation. They're going to be fine. In 12th, Bournemouth. Another team I appreciate a lot. Play a lot of good football. Like watching them play football. And I like their manager, young English manager in Eddie Howe. They have a very, very good team. Nathan Ake at the back. Brilliant centre-half. Obviously, I appreciate him a lot more because I am a Chelsea fan, ex-Chelsea player, so on. But I think he's quality. Obviously, they've got fantastic players going forward in Ryan Fraser, Callum Wilson, Josh King. They've just got quality in all positions, really. I think they're going to be absolutely fine this year. 12th. They may even be looking higher than that, but they're a team that, like Burnley, will definitely be looking up the table rather than down, and sort of what positions they can gain rather than looking towards, oh dear, we're in trouble. So they're going to be fine. And I think they're a team they're a staple team in the Premier League now, and they're going to be a team that stick around for a long time. So in 11th, just missing out in the top 10, I'm going to go for West Ham. Actually made a good sort of summer. Obviously, Arnautovic has gone to China, obviously for the money, because that's the only reason you go there. It's going to be a big loss, but they have brought in Sebastian Haller, not Stephen. Sebastian Haller from Frankfurt. It looks like a good signing, actually. Obviously, did very well at Frankfurt last season, scoring a lot of goals for them. And obviously, they ended up third in the table, so for them, that was a good season. So he must have been doing something right. So a good signing for me. Obviously, they did get absolutely smashed by Man City 5-0, but it's a tough game to have first win of the season. I'd just write that off and go from the next game. Just completely write it off, forget about it, start the season off fresh next week, and go from there. I feel like they're going to be fine. Mid-table should be about right for them, and I feel like they're going to have a better record this season than they have previously. Into the top 10 now. I'm going for Watford in 10th. Once again, another team that had a shock result, losing 3-0 to Brighton. I actually had on Super 6 3-0 Watford, so I was like, didn't see that coming at all. So like West Ham, I'd just write the first game of the season off, start the season next weekend. They're going to be fine. They're a top 10 team every season now. For me, they've got really good players. They're not going to struggle at all. They've got top players going around. They've got the likes of Deulofeu, Capoue and Decore. They've got a good manager who wants to bring those players together, play creative football. They create chances, they score goals. They're pretty short up at the back now, so yeah, they're going to be absolutely fine. I'd say 10th is a good spot for them this season. So, into 9th. This will be a good season for Leicester. Once again, big loss losing Harry Maguire. Probably their best, he was their best centre-half last season, so a big loss losing him, but I feel that it shouldn't affect the team too much. They've got players that will come in there. Obviously, they've still got top players in the likes of Chilwell and Didi, Jamie Vardy, Damari Gray. They've still got goals and a solid back line. Obviously, Schmeichel in goal being a really good goalkeeper. So they're going to be fine this year. They're a proper staple Premier League team now. Obviously, they won it a few years ago. But they're a team that sort of flirted relegation for a bit. But I feel like they're a top 10 team. Maybe even a little bit higher. They'll be looking to finish as high as they possibly can this season. And I feel like 9th, about right for them. They may even push a few higher. But just through losing Maguire, I dropped them down sort of a few places and maybe what I would have done otherwise. So in 8th, dropping one place from their last season finish, we're going for Wolves. However, dropping that one place, I don't see it for Wolves as a bad thing. Don't see it as a bad thing at all. Just think there's another team that are going to come through this season. They're going to be absolutely fine. They've got really, really good players. They've got Willy Bolly at centre-half, who's a good centre-half. You've got the likes of João Moutinho and Ruben Neves running the absolute midfield. And you've got Jimenez and Jota up top. They score goals for fun. You've got Rui Patricio in goal. He's top quality goalkeeper. They've got a very, very good team. And Nuno Espirito Santo, I think is his name, the manager. He's actually a very good manager. Likes to play attacking football. Isn't concerned about if he's playing Liverpool, Man City, your big teams. He's not doesn't play a different game. He still plays his attacking football, which is what I like to see. I don't like it when teams go to those and play a completely defensive mindset. Just go there, play your game, which is what Wolves do, and which is why they succeeded so well last season. So I feel this season they'll do absolutely fine again. They'll probably be pushing onto those European places, but they might just drop out of them this year into 8th. In 7th, having a good season for me, is going to be Everton. Signed very well in the summer, in my opinion. Sidibe coming in at left back. I know it's only a loan, but that's a very, very good signing. For me, very top quality left back. They obviously got signed a Iwobi late on. So at 40 million, Arsenal absolutely mugged them off for money. But it's still a good signing, in my opinion. Because it obviously adds their attacking options. Obviously, they've got players going forward anyway. They're not going to struggle for goals, I don't think. Adding a Iwobi is only going to help their attack. They've just got they've got a very solid team this season. I see them progressing nicely. Pickford obviously going to have, for me, he's our England's best goalkeeper, and actually he's a very good goalkeeper, so he helps them massively. He has his moments, but for them, 7th this year, I think their European places will be what they're aiming for, based on their signings and it's where they should be. It's where they were when I was growing up. They were challenging for the top 4, so they should at least be challenging for European places. So into 6th, controversial one here. A lot of people are going to disagree with this, but I'm going same as last season. Manchester United. I feel like they're being very over expected this season. Obviously they have shored up their defence big time, because the defence was a problem. Obviously Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire coming in, big money moves. Harry Maguire way too expensive, but still a good centre half, and Wan-Bissaka was just a very good signing in general. That's going to obviously shore up their defensive unit, which is what they needed to do. But the problem I have with United is not that they don't have the players. They have they have world-class players in every position. They have quality team. I just don't know whether they have a team. They have a lot of individuals that want to do their thing, and I don't know whether Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can sort of get them under control. If he can get the individual personalities and sort of gel them together into a team, they're up there. They're top 3, challenging for the title for me. But I don't think he can. Not this season anyway, maybe next season. So for now, for me, I don't see them progressing from last season. Even with the signings they've made, I still think they will struggle against smaller teams and the bigger teams. They'll have their moments where they just absolutely don't turn up to games and get turned over. So for me, 6th, as a Man United fan, I feel they're being overconfident of where they're going to finish this year. In 5th, I think same again as last season, we're going for Arsenal. They've actually made a lot of good signings. Nicolas Pepe obviously being the main one. World-class signing there. They've absolutely smashed it out of the park, especially telling the media they only had 40 million to spend. Then they've just chucked around like a couple of 100 million on players. So I don't know where it's come from, but fair play to them. Him, Lacazette and Aubameyang just sounds disgusting. They're going to score goals for fun. Obviously, signing Kieran Tierney is only going to help out their defensive side, and Ceballos at sort of the centre mid role is only going to help with creativity and shoring up the midfield in general. So I think he's going to be a big signing. David Luiz is obviously a big signing as well. Bit annoyed with the old how he did it. Obviously being a Chelsea fan, but one thing I can't wait to see is Mustafi and Luiz defending together. It's going to be an absolute comedy show. Cannot wait to see that. Leave a like on this video if you are looking forward to that as any other fan. And I imagine Arsenal fans are not too keen on that one. But yeah, 5th for me this year. Unai Emery will still... I feel they'll still slip up. They'll do an Arsenal, like they do every year, and slip up against small teams. And they'll have these really amazing performances, and you'll think, wow, that is a team. And then they'll go to somewhere like Norwich and like get a 1-1 draw or something. And it's silly. And they shouldn't be doing that, but that's the way Arsenal are. For me, so 5th this season is where they're going to be. Now in 4th, controversial one, obviously might be slightly biased, but I have big faith in my own team this year in Chelsea. Champions League spot again. Big faith in our Frankie Lampard. Big faith in Frankie Lampard. I fancy this season, obviously we've had the transfer ban, but we've still brought in obviously Pulisic and Kovacic. Still good signings for me. Obviously they were coming in before anyway, so they're not signings that have happened, but for me still good signings to help the team. Obviously losing Hazard is something that you're just not going to be able to fix in one season, especially when you have a transfer ban. we've lost the best player in the Premier League. As much as it pains me to say it, because I wanted him to stay, but obviously living his dream at Real Madrid, so I respect him for doing it. So it's not going to be an easy void to fill. But I feel with the youth that he's obviously Lampard's going to bring through, I feel that this season we're going to smash it. Like, I fancy us to be really, really good contenders this season. And a lot of people are really underestimating us, in my opinion. Obviously, we'll see. I'm recording this at 12 o'clock on Sunday, so we'll see later today how we actually get on against Man United. We still have a lot of injuries at the minute, but no excuses. I expect us to go there and get at least a point. So yeah, I'm not sure, but I feel like we can do it. I feel like Champions League places is doable for Chelsea this season. So fourth for me is where we're going to be. Right. So as much as it pains me to say it, the top team in London this year, it's going to be Spurs. They had a good team anyway. They've signed Ndombele, who for me, I don't know how he didn't end up at like Real Madrid, Barcelona, because he is absolutely world class. He showed that against Aston Villa yesterday. Showed how good he was with his goal, and he's just had a really overall good performance. So he's obviously going to help them out big time. Ryan Sessegnon, obviously a good signing as well. Shore up their defensive side at left back, and Lo Celso coming in will only create chances in the middle for them. So yeah, I think they've signed well, and I think they can be really. Spurs fans can be really hopeful for this season of actually challenging the top two, rather than it being a two-horse race. They can really challenge it this year. So if I was a Spurs fan, I'd feel pretty confident about this season. So yeah, third. I think that's fair. Right, so the big question, who do I think is going to win the league? Who's coming in second? You know what two teams it is. It's the same as last season, but who is, for me, going to be there? And in second place this season, for me, it's Liverpool. Same again. Just don't see them having quite the quality needed to compete and beat Man City. I don't see it, personally. Just from the way of... They have everything for me, but obviously, will they be as good this year as they were last year? Will their defence be as amazing? And I actually think they might leak a few more goals this year. Obviously, they did against Norwich. Obviously, I know they only conceded one, but it's still a clean sheet gone. It's I feel like Van Dijk, obviously the best defender in the world. That's a simple fact, but their defence, I don't know. In pre-season has been pretty leaky. Obviously, you can't base pre-season on anything. It means nothing compared to Premier League season. But I feel like this season the gap won't be 1 point. It will be a few more. It will be close. Don't get me wrong. And I feel they'll definitely compete with Man City. But that is going to be the team they're going to struggle to beat this season. So your Premier League champions for me for the 2019-2020 season, you know it, is Manchester City. They have signed so well without spending a hell of a lot of money. Rodri coming in at CDM he was brilliant yesterday for them in their 5-0 win. He was also very good, I thought, in the Community Shield, obviously which they won. Obviously, Sane going out injured is not ideal, but they've got world-class players to walk in and play the wide or play through the middle. You've got Jesus, Mahrez, Aguero, Sterling. That's just to name a few of their forward-going options. So they're not struggling for forward players. So although it's a shame, because he's a world-class player, Sane, they're not going to struggle without him. Also, the signing of Joao Cancelo, great signing for me. They've absolutely mugged off Juventus, really, for Danilo and 27 million. I feel like he's one of the best right-backs in the world and probably might start ahead of Kyle Walker. So that would be good competition to see how Pep Guardiola lines them up when Cancelo is fit and ready to play and in the team. So yeah, that would be an interesting one. But for me, I feel this season they could actually do the invincible season, do the unthinkable, match Arsenal's invincibles from 2005, was it? No, 2004. Yeah, I just fancy them this year. The invincible season's on. They're going to get one draw and one win against Liverpool, and yeah, I just don't see them losing. They're too good for me. They're just way too good at the minute. Pep Guardiola really has got. He's one of the best managers in the world. He's got one of the best teams in the world. It's a lovely combination to have. For me, Champions League without a shadow of a doubt. What I've also done here is I've done top goal scorer and Golden Glove. So for me, top goal scorer this season, going to be one of the three from last season. Actually, we're going to go for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Fancy him this year to do really well. Obviously, he did last year. He was joint top goal scorer. Obviously, Arsenal being in fifth, you wouldn't expect it. But I feel because they've got such an amazing attack, he's going to score goals for fun. It's the problem with Arsenal, they'll leak goals at the back because they're shockingly bad defensively. But yeah, for me, top goal scorer this season, Aubameyang. And I'm going to go 23 goals he's going to score this season. So yeah, come back and see at the end of the season whether I've got that right. Then Golden Glove, I'm going to go for Edison. Because obviously I feel that Man City are going to go on this invincible season. I fancy him to get a lot of clean sheets this year. I'm actually going to go for 14 for him to win the glove, especially as Alisson obviously got injured in the first game, is now out for 4 to 8 weeks. For me, Golden Glove is his as long as Man City keep their solid back line, which obviously they have anyway, we know that. But as long as they keep that up, I feel like he's going to have it this year. So yeah, they're my 2 predictions. Right, if you guys have enjoyed, and if you obviously, please let me know in the comments what opinions you have on whether I'm right, whether I'm wrong, on everything, top goal scorer, Golden Glove, and the league in general. Let me know in the comments who you think and where everybody's going to finish. Leave a like on this video if you do agree with my suggestions. That would be absolutely fantastic if you could. Obviously, join me on the road on the subscribers. We're trying our best to pump out videos at least 3 times a week now. So I'm really giving it all I can, as long as a 9 to 5 job, which obviously makes it difficult. But I'm doing my very best. So bear with me if you don't suddenly get a video and you're like, oh God, what's happening? I'm busy. I'm really sorry. I'm trying my very best. So hopefully you can appreciate that. And hopefully, if you're new, you're going to subscribe and help me join this journey. So gaining a few subscribers recently, so that's been nice. So thank you very much for that. So if you guys have enjoyed, thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like on this video, subscribe if you are new. Thank you for watching, and peace.